Hello, I'm Jack.
I'm Mole, and welcome to EXP Required's first in-person segment where we get to show off our swag.
So both of us have acquired quite a lot of swag over the years.
So Jack, what you showing off today? Now that looks like a CD case, Jack, but I get the feeling it's not.
Dual case of Final Fantasy VIII. It has space for 4 memory cards, and I saw it in a magazine,
That's cool.
which is the official PlayStation magazine, issue 44. The issue I got, which I hid behind some fishing magazines on the shelf in my newsagents when I was younger, so no one else bought it.
I remember you mentioning that
with
before,
Final
yes.
Fantasy on the cover. Within this magazine, there is a page which talks about all the swag that the people that had gone over to Japan to play the Japanese version of Final Fantasy VIII in early 1999 had picked up while they were there. So there's a Skull action figure, and amongst the merchandise, there is this particular item here. So I've wanted this since 1999. Thought I would buy it recently.
You finally gave in.
I finally gave in. So it does contain a space for 4 memory cards. You can take that to your friend's house for a sleepover.
That's
probably
cool.
what you would do back in the day. Modern day, 20 quid on eBay. Produced by Hori, who they do video game peripherals.
Okay.
There's also a Final Fantasy X one of these that's got like electric blue as a background. Which
Presumably for the PlayStation 2.
also mentions in the magazine, you will need all 4 of these memory cards to play and beat Final Fantasy VIII, which is an interesting relic of the past, because obviously memory cards had 15 blocks, which was 128 kilobytes for the uninitiated.
Kilobytes.
Yeah,
Kilobytes.
And actually you really only need one block, I think, to play
I'd
the
say
whole game.
2, just in
maybe
case.
2. You only need 1 or 2 save files really to play it and beat the game, but it's just quite interesting how at the time there wasn't that many games that needed that much space to save.
No. So I've got a question for you, Jack. How many memory cards did you have as a child?
Well, there's 4 there, but for PlayStation, I think I had 4 or 5 memory cards. I had one that was the Wild Things on it. Don't know what that was from. Some third-party memory card, and that still has all my Final Fantasy saves on it now. How about yourself?
I don't remember how many I had. I do seem to recall being one of those children that I wanted to have a save file for every single point that I was at in the games, and of course, as you're well aware, that takes up a lot of space very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So I had, I think, 2 memory cards per PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy, and I had them all labelled, so I knew exactly what was on.
Yeah.
I had to write really small to
You were
fit on those memory
sensible.
cards. I wouldn't call that sensible, Jack. I didn't even get...
putting writing on, because obviously what I'd have to do is I'd have to go, what was on that again? Which memory card had that save file on it? And pick it off the shelf and stick it in and look through the menu and go like, what's going on here? What games have I got on? What does this logo even represent? Because the Spyro the Dragon logo, for instance, has just got a gem.
Oh, that's right. They all used to have icons for the save files, didn't they?
I got a PlayStation 1 for Christmas 1998. I was bought Hercules on PlayStation 1 around that time. Now, what was interesting about that game is it was a 2D sort of side-scroller game, which was sort of reminiscent of an old SNES era title on PlayStation.
Right.
So it had the password feature. So obviously a memory card. Yeah, a memory card would let you save each level when you'd beaten, but you'd need a password if you didn't have a memory card. And of course, my PlayStation bundle didn't come with a memory card, so that entire period over Christmas, I had to try and beat the game with passwords. I've got a bit of a nice memory that my dad was drawing out these like Grecian urns, 4 Grecian urns in order as the password for the next level with a certain face on them. My dad drew out these like
that's
weird
cute.
Medusa heads, like in his style, on the back of a post-it note.
That's really cute. Shout out Jack's dad.
Yeah, and sometimes the memory cards as well wouldn't be formatted the right way. So I remember taking my memory card around to my friend's house. They plugged it into their PlayStation. It went, do you want to format the memory card? And I just clicked yes.
Oh no.
So I lost all my saved games, which is why I got the individually marked one for Final Fantasy, because my Final Fantasy save got deleted by said friend. Back in the good old days, these magazines that we have used to come with demo discs, of which I own most of them because I'm nuts.
Yes.
Now these demo discs, we have demo disc 56, demo disc 62, and demo disc 94, which was sold to me by the PlayStation Advocate, who's a big proponent of these demo discs and releases quite a lot of content talking about these demo discs. Shout out to that channel for helping me out to get this demo. Now, do you know why these demos in particular are significant?
I'm going to hazard a guess to say they've got something to do with Final Fantasy, just off the top of my head.
Maybe they do. So, not only did these games include demos of upcoming games, but they also had a downloader in some of these games, which was essentially somewhere where you could go to download a save file directly onto your memory card.
Right.
And they were marketed as cheats. these 3 discs contain Final Fantasy save files. I believe they're the only ones, certainly the only ones that are Final Fantasy VIII save files, which was obviously something that I thought I'd mention because Final Fantasy VIII is the best one.
It's the black label.
It is the black label Final Fantasy VIII box. Final Fantasy VIII came out in the UK around, I think it was October 1999, which would have been around issue 51, 52 of the official PlayStation magazine. So 56 would have been early the next year.
Right.
So the first save file is right at the beginning of disc 2, where you play as Laguna in Windhill.
Right.
The guy's been playing for 25 hours and hasn't got Diablos, but has the magical lamp. So what I want to do is use the file there to go through and beat Diablos as Laguna on my own. I've tried to do it, can't do it. So at some point, if this video gets enough traction and enough comments asking me to do it, I'll go through and do that as a challenge run to see if I can do it. The next save file, which came on disc 62, which would have been 6 months later, is access to disc 4.
Okay.
Literally just before Ultimecia, right outside her grand room or whatever it's called, on the bridge. For some reason, the person hasn't killed all the monsters in Ultimecia Castle and you can't have item access. Squall is called Adam in their game.
Adam?
Yes,
Adam Leonhardt.
So it's probably someone that worked for the official PlayStation Magazine save file.
Adam Leonhardt, if you're out there.
Yeah, so if Adam's out there, I would really like to hear from Adam, talk to Adam about Adam's save file, because it's been quite interesting. But what I did is I played through the third dream as Laguna to find out whether that was still Adam's save file, and actually got to the district prison later on, and actually they're called Squall. So it indicates very strongly that it's 2 different people playing the game at the magazine that have uploaded the save files. And disc 94 contains one of those files. So I tried to download it, disc 94, and it just said you already have this file on your disc, so it's one of the files that already exists. But I've got all 3 of them there, and again, thanks to PlayStation Advocate for providing the third one, so I have the complete set of Final Fantasy VIII save files.
See, I think a better challenge would be to try and beat Ultimecia with that save file without doing anything extra. So you're not going to defeat any of the extra bosses. You're not going to do any draws to get any missing GFs. Can you do it?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
I think that would be fairly well achievable because there's quite a lot of good techniques. But I think the reason the Laguna one's probably worth doing because the guy hasn't got HP junction or anything like that, and only has a certain amount of magic, so it makes it very, very difficult.
Okay, well, I look forward to seeing you in half a year when you finally surface from this dream.
I think I got it down. So I think Diablos at that level has 12,000 HP. So, but you can get your magic up high enough to be able to cast Demi on him, but then he just charges and kills you. So,
good luck, Jack. You're gonna need it. Well, that's really cool, actually. I can't believe you brought in the black label of Final Fantasy VIII. I'm not even going to touch it because I don't trust myself not to try and take that home. But that memory card case I could have really used as a child.
Definitely a piece of Final Fantasy VIII merchandise, not the rarest piece of Final Fantasy VIII merchandise.
But still
any stretch,
cool.
But it's pretty cool, isn't it? You know, and I might actually use it to store my memory cards even today.
Thank you very much for bragging about that one, Jack. And thank you for watching. We've been EXP Required, and we hope to see you again on our channel very soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more video content like our list features and also for our monthly podcast.
So you can also be found on social media such as Twitter and Blue Sky at EXP Required. Thank you for watching. See you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.